Well, hello there, trombone players of the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade jazz idiom on tenor trombone. I'm going to take you through some little things to help you prepare the audition music for your jazz audition. So, I'm going to play these from beginning to end. At least I don't think I am. I'm not sure what's about to happen. But I want to kind of show you things to help you practice them, get them better, maybe give you some ideas of things that you hadn't thought about, and so forth. Okay, first of all, these etudes don't have metronome marks, so fast swing. What is fast swing? I must have an exact number. No, you don't. Okay, fast swing is fast swing. Before you go any further, down at the bottom, it has some really great suggestions there. Suggested listening: J.J. Johnson, Frank Rosolino, Slide Hampton, Carl Fontana. Oh, can't speak. And then on the other one, it says suggested listening: Carl Fontana and the Bill Evans Trio. So, yeah, listen to those things. If all you ever listen to is heavy metal and rap, or even Mozart and Beethoven, but yet you think you can just come in and play your jazz audition and with the correct style, you're probably not going to make it. You haven't conceptualized what it really sounds like to be a jazz musician. So listen to those suggested. They're highly suggested. And you get a concept of they're not playing Kick the Can and Waltz of the Sack Butts, but they're playing things that are like that. And you kind of start to figure out how swing goes and how a jazz waltz goes. So that's very important to starting to learn this. Okay, so first of all, if you hear a howling that doesn't sound like a trombone, that is one of the dogs here. And a continuous rattling that you might also hear is another dog over there playing with a chew toy. So I never know what's about to happen, but I'm going to do this video. All right, so Kick the Can, starting there. Oh, my goodness. C, E flat, G. Just those three notes. So many times I've heard that. Okay, let's talk about just those three notes. C, third position. Yay. E flat, third position, and a G, a sharp second. Please do not play. Can't even stand it. Okay, it's essential that those notes are in tune. That's the first thing your judge hears. They go, well, that kid can't play in tune, and probably not going to listen to a whole lot else. So just practice those three notes and making sure they line up, not necessarily with a tuner, but with these two tuners, okay? Play that as a minor triad a few times so you get that sound in your head. All right, so now, okay. And in general, swing style, your eighth notes, your continuous eighth notes, need to be played legato. Okay? I mean, some of them are marked, but let me give you just a quick example of another way not to do this. And that is tongue all the first three notes and go. As smooth as you can. Just take that tongue, rip it out of your mouth, throw it over on the case, okay? Don't need it. But you do need to articulate the G, and I kind of like to put a little scoop in there. If you like that, it works great, but don't get obnoxious. I've also heard this. That's a little too much, okay? Don't hurt people with your instrument or with your sound. It's not good, okay? It does say forte, but what is forte? They're not sitting back there with a decibel meter going, oh, you registered this much. You missed forte by 1/10 of a decibel. They shouldn't be doing that. They better not be. Better not. Okay, so anyway, forte. I'm going to stop right there. Okay, so You got G flat, C flat, E flat, and that third full measure. That's other notes to really tune. G flat, sharp third, opposed to the E flat, which is in flat third, which is opposed to the C, which is just in third. So that's another spot to just be going. Just playing that triad and getting that really well in tune. So you got. Okay, you want to be able to get those two sounds in your head where you know what they sound like, so that you don't have. That's not the first one, and the second one going. Oh, if you stand outside the room, you're going to hear that all day long. So just, or if you stand, poor judges have to hear that all the time. So you want to not do those. So make sure you play those in tune. Also, you've got notes that are on beat 4, those two E flats, that sforzando, and then a crescendo. Okay, but again, don't kill them. Short note on beat 4 for that F. Now, look at the next thing. You might want to do that slowly, like I just did. I should have gone through these before I did the video, but too late now. Okay, again. Play everything very legato, except where it's specifically marked, and these etudes are all very specifically marked with anything they want short, long, but if it's not, play it legato. So what you don't want on the line 2 is, I'll take the pickup. I'm swinging. No, you're not. Okay. So you want to play everything very legato. We've got, of course, the A flat there that is short on the end of beat 2. Alright, now if you really want to get picky, you can say, alright, where's that F? It needs to come out just a little bit also. So this is an intonation trap waiting to happen right here. Yeah, just getting those. Play them in reverse. So you kind of get those in your ear. That last note was not really where it should be, was it? Okay, so. And then the next thing, yeah, you will bring that down, decrescendo a little bit, but don't play so soft that nothing comes out, because that's terrible. All right, so now. I prefer to play the D in 4th position. In the chromatic position, it is not an alternate position. Those things do not exist. They are chromatic notes, like clarinets have chromatic fingerings. Well, we do too. We have chromatic positions, and that is what your D in 4th position would be there. And you're already out there, and it's easier to play smoother. Watch the fly. If you go. You could do the F out there, but I just don't want to. You could. You can play the G out there too. There's a lot of possibilities, but I keep the slide moving in one direction as long as I can. Not just in the jazz stuff, but any trombone playing in general. Right? So, practice it slow and even first for practice. That way you can practice real exact pitch control. And then which notes do I emphasize when I play a string of 8th notes? Is it the third one or the second one? Play it, and the ones that come out, those are the ones that you emphasize. Don't overthink it. Okay? Play it. All right? And again, listen. What do they do? What does Slide Hampton do when he has a string of 8th notes? What does Carl Fontana do? Okay? So listen to those guys. All right, starting on line 3, dynamic change down soft. Again, but smooth, not. That's not swinging. Alright, so I put an extra little scoop in there. That's Jeff's interpretation. If you like that, great, copy it. No extra charge. If you don't like it, don't do it. But don't do it where it sounds obnoxious. Play for your private teachers. Play for your band director. And if they're looking at it, what are you doing this for? And if they really don't like it, if somebody says, that sounds terrible, then don't do that, okay? It's a real easy remedy. Okay, so. Again, there's your D. It's in between a C and an E flat. Whenever the note D goes between two third position notes, you should play it in fourth position. You're in the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. You should just do that. Do it, practice it, do it. Okay? You're going to knock your teeth out if you do things like that. Okay? So just don't. All right? All right. I kind of like to do a little push on that C. So the half note C that's tied to the 8th note in measure, what is that, 9? Yeah, measure 9. So there's something that goes on there, and then I'm less tempted to breathe. All right? All right. Then notice in the next measure, line over beat 3 on the C. You could go 6-1, half dozen the other. Either one works. Just whatever you want to get used to. What do you do there? I didn't see. Contemplating playing the B flat in sharp 5th position. Again, that way I'm coming out, I'm coming back in. You can play with it. If it works, great. If it don't. I'm not as nerdy about that as I am the D in 4th position in measure 10. But anyway. Again, I like it though. Okay, so next thing. That swing and on the dotted quarter note E flat as we begin the next section. There's some other triads to play. Okay, E flat out, G flat up. So, and that way it kind of gives you a little lean in, a little push into the G flat. Alright, there's one that I love to hear people play. Not really. Okay. That's a tuning place, just waiting for a judge to mark off on. Alright, the G to the F sharp. Okay, sharp second, sharp third, sharp second, regular third, sharp. Okay, so lots of adjustments. For Jeff, he likes to only tongue when necessary, only legato tongue when necessary. Other than that, like the natural slurs. So. Again, another thing to play slowly for pitch and to really get things very well in tune and even. Now, that D I played in first. I'm not sure why. I don't know whether I do that again or not. So, starting that little phrase down there, measure 13. Don't get super crazy on the dynamics. It only crescendos up to mezzo forte. If you need a little more oomph, I would save it for measure 15 when you go to the G and up to the A flat. Okay, so then you got to drop down, start on the next thing on low G. Okay, again, keeping things legato. You don't want to hear. I'm a swinging. Okay, so. Okay. I got a trigger. Well, I don't usually use one on lead trombone stuff. So, if you got one, great. That's you got some options there of where to even play the B flat, the B natural. But do notice that measure 18 is B natural, measure 19 is B flat. Okay, so that could be really played in the cracks, so make sure you're tuning those up. F sharp, G, A flat. And then D, da, 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 da. Make sure that's C short. Swell on that low G flat, so it's going somewhere. Also, you just played mezzo forte on the higher line before the double bar. Go ahead and start full because you're in a lower register and you kind of need the extra air and the security. And all right, so then you get that a little bit fuller. Hold out that maybe crescendo through that low G flat. Yeah, it's got to go somewhere. I just like to crescendo into the rest. Start the next phrase on the F, same intensity as the low G. Alright, being triggerless, look at what you can do there. Or even if you have a trigger, you don't always have to use it. Just because you bought it doesn't mean you have to use it for every note. This measure 18, 19, 20. Measure 21, which starts on low F. 6, 6, 6, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 2, 1, 1. Slow motion. Okay? That makes sense? So you got a lot of stuff you can do out here. I don't ever play out there anymore. Why not? It's on the horn. And B natural, A, yeah, that's a far distance, but I'm coming into the B flat. Okay, so. Then short on beat 3 on the A flat. Now that one's written to have a decrescendo. And then softer here, but not so soft that nothing comes out. Here. Make that E flat go somewhere. I like a slight crescendo. Okay, so then you got short on there. Look at this next measure. Measure, what is that? 24, 28. I don't know. It's down there toward the end. It's all the eighth notes. Last line, second measure. I like this. If I play the G in fourth, which you pretty much better. If you go F in sixth, then you're coming up 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you shift. Okay, so I'm coming up. Shift 3, 3, 1 to the G. Okay, crescendo as you go up also. Oh, I don't like that. Tried to play the F in sharp fourth. Could be done. I'd have to practice that. So you got that the short G and then B flat. Okay. Question of vibrato. Okay, I've actually heard this back on auditions years ago. Sound like an old lady in church when you do that. Don't do that. No. Right? Vibrato. First of all, it's personal. Okay? Your vibrato doesn't necessarily have to sound like mine. Mine doesn't have to sound like J.J. Johnson's. J.J.'s doesn't sound like Carl Fontana's. Vibrato is a very personal thing. Okay? You do need to practice it and see how and work on developing control of it if you're going to use it. Okay? So if you're going to use vibrato here or anywhere, and even in the next etude, practice with it, especially in swing in general. If it's a Glenn Miller chart, that's a completely different vibrato than a Frank Rosolino. Okay. Also, the time period is different from how people use vibrato. So anyway, that's a whole entire another video I could do. But in general, in something like this, you want to hit the note, kind of go above and below it. I actually heard a lecture one time where they were discussing, does vibrato go above the note or below the note, and people are arguing about that. I think that's completely insane. Anyway, so establish the note, then you're going to vibrato above and below, but you're going to start slow, go faster, and then taper off. It's not just like, here's the note, flip the vibrato switch, and that's not what you want. So, if you're going to do it, my interpretation would be, but you play with it, okay? And figure out what you think sounds good, and then play it for somebody else, and they'll either go, or cool. Okay, so figure that out. All right, so waltz of the sack butts. So a 3/4 jazz waltz. Okay, gentle jazz waltz. All right, so even though it's gentle, you eventually want this to feel like it's in one. And I've got a couple things, if I can remember what they are, to show you in this. How are we doing? We're 22 minutes into this video. All right, great. All right, so articulation is very well marked. Watch your key, E naturals. Oh, but here's another thing. Now you've got C, E natural, and G. Start on the A. Okay, D da 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 da. So let's go slow. Show you a couple things. It says piano, but make sure it's a confident piano so you don't have nothing come out and then you panic, okay? I'll show you what I'm going to do here in a second because I'm going to get a little faster. But anyway, so watch your articulation. Look at measure 3, full measure 3. You have D, E flat, D, C. Once it gets fast enough, this will make sense. Slow tempo, this is going to seem very awkward. You got these notes. You can find the E flat in 6th position, kind of a sharp 6. And then you can play the D's in 4th, the E flat in sharp 6, and the C in 3rd, and it's all a natural slur. And then you can play that E flat in 3rd and kind of smear into it. Wow. That makes it a whole lot easier to play smooth than. You're going to have to practice it because it involves like a natural slur, it's sort of a lip slur, but the notes are close together, so it's going to take a little practice. You might try the doodle tongue, but that's another video. Doodle-doo-doo-da. Anyway, throw that out there for you to practice. If you're starting early enough, you got time to practice that, see what works for you. If nothing else, try to play very smoothly and but again, at least play the D's in 4. But you gotta learn to control it. All right, going on. Another thing to practice here is this little arpeggio here. second position to sharp second for the G. Alright, and then, alright, so F, G, A flat, B flat, G, G flat, F. Look at that. Practice it slowly and even so you get the note. Right. There's a lot of that can be natural slurred, so you're gonna play with it and see what you need to do as you put a slight swing onto it in this jazz waltz. All right, and crescendo slightly through that, and then it says mezzo piano there. So that's sort of a gradual crescendo from measure 7 to 8, 9, 10, 11, like measure 12. So don't get too loud too soon. If you do bring that up, you might want to bring it back down as you do the mezzo piano there on the double bar. So accents. So a little scoop up to the G. Okay. Sometimes trombone players, we see those little scoops and we get so excited. And that's like the main thing to do. Did you hear me scoop? Yeah, I did. It's bad. All right, so I've heard that kind of stuff before. Don't do that. So it's just a little one. All right, and I kind of like to put a slight little scoop there on the A, but on the A in the last measure of the second line. But that's just me. If you don't like it, don't do it. Or you can't make it sound good, don't do it. Alright, here's another place where once you get the tempo worked up, you do natural slurs and articulate the C. Alright, so another place that natural slurs are really handy there, from D flat to E flat, and articulate the C. Then you're starting that little melodic sequence again. It's kind of like the beginning. Ripping up down there. Okay. Alright, so you're on G, then you go to G sharp. Okay, don't let that freak you out. You got a similar passage up there earlier. No. Oh, well, what key am I on? Oh, yeah, I remember this. Yeah, this is a cool little sequence starting here. You start on the last measure of the third line on the G sharp. Then the next little one. Play them in those blocks. Get out of the next note. So notice how that sequence goes. 4-note groups, but they're not all on the beat. And they're not on the same beat if they are on the beat. So the one you'd probably miss count is measure 21, and you put that D that's on beat 3 on the end of beat 2, because the rest of them are ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da da on beat 3, ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 da. Right, so make sure that's directly on beat 3. You don't sneak it in there on the end of beat 2. All right. Good for pitch. Also, I suggest just learning those backwards. Which one here? All right. All right. Forte piano. But yeah, once you get to the piano, what are you going to do there? You're going to lay there, you're going to maybe taper it down, I don't know. If I'd thought, not having a trigger, I would have gone to 6th position for the F. So I'm going to do that this time. Get a little bit softer there. Personally, I don't like to use like slide vibrato on low stuff. I think it sounds a little strange, but you know, if you do that, again, work it out so it sounds okay. I use a little jaw vibrato, and then suddenly forte, but don't hurt people. Oh gosh, I've had to run out of the room screaming when I've heard this one sometimes. Notes. Oh, is there a trombone solo that goes like that? You need to look it up, figure out what it is. Okay, and you're in probably in second for the B natural, and then you can either articulate, or you could either natural slur up to the C and play it in third, or you can just smear it. That's my personal preference. That's what I would do. I don't know. I might not get first chair. Oh, I wouldn't do that at all. How about? I kind of like the smear. Anyway, and then you got this note you got to hold out. This high B. So with a decrescendo, do you put vibrato there? Again, if it is, taper it. Don't just flip the vibrato switch and hurt things. So let's see if I can do this. Oh, don't do that. And then take a break. You got the railroad tracks there. Ask your band director what that's really called. It starts with a C. It's not seizure. Okay. So you got that, and then okay. And actually, I can play that low note, no problem. Yeah, but can you play it after you just play at a high B? So practice that interval. Yeah, you got time to take the mouthpiece off your face and reset if needed for the low F. But you know, actually practice playing that last note. Don't just leave it off and then try to play it on the audition. You got to learn what it feels like to reset there. All right, so that's a lot of stuff. That's a 32-minute video, and a lot of little things in there. Some things maybe to help you get it better. Some ideas of maybe where to play things, how to practice some things. I hope it has been of help to you. And if you have any questions, you can contact me via my website at www.jeffphillipstrombone.com. And you can also find some other just basic fundamental videos on there that you might find intriguing, including some guy playing trombone in like a pool underwater. But anyway, hope you have a successful audition. Another thing that I've put together, I actually did it last year, but no sense in reinventing the wheel because it's basically the same ideas. I have another video out there that I'll kind of put up with the rest of these on things to not do in your improvisation audition, which is a part that yes, you should practice your improvisation. Yes, I don't mean memorize what you're going to play, but you need to deliberately, daily practice your improvisation so that you aren't going into that cold, well, don't I just make stuff up? That's all covered on the video. So I won't belabor that. But I hope this has been some help to you. Have a great audition. And again, if you got any questions, contact me. I'll help you out best I can. See ya.